You know, it's a very, very strange problem when one of my farms has the issue of being too efficient. It used to be that this would only generate one iron golem, but now it can generate two or even three. And then occasionally they get stuck here. So we're going to be fixing that today. Hopefully without too much trouble. There we go. As soon as one of them goes, then they both go. But until that point, it's just a problem. Now, efficiency usually isn't a bad thing. In this case, though, there's some problems that we're encountering. One of the problems is poppies. We're getting a lot of them, and they're just taking up valuable storage space. So, like, storing iron is not a problem. I'm totally fine with storing iron, but these poppies are taking up spots where the iron could be, and I'm going to have to come through here and individually take each poppy thing, and if my inventory is very full, then I can only take a few things at a time, and then I have to go stuff them somewhere else or throw them off the edge, and it feels a little wasteful to throw them off the edge. So I was like, okay, maybe we can, like, you know, do something useful with these poppies. And one of the cool things you can do is suspicious stew. So maybe if we make suspicious stew, I thought we could get rid of the poppies in a pretty reasonable way. So if you've never made suspicious stew, this was new to me, so I'll show you. You just use like the mushroom stew recipe, which is a red mushroom and a brown mushroom, and then you put whatever flour you want. And different flours give different effects. So I was like, oh, what if we get a good effect from the poppies, right? Then it could be pretty cool. And the effect that poppy gives if we drink this suspicious stew is night vision. But it's already blinking. We only get 5 seconds of it and it's gone. So, and we have to carry all of these ingredients around. We have to carry the bowl, the mushroom, and the poppies. And then we have to make them all individually, and then they don't stack. It's not a great solution, right? So another thought I had to use up the poppies and hopefully free up some space in the iron farm was like, well, maybe if we just put it all across the island, you know, we just spam flowers everywhere. Well, guess what? Spamming flowers doesn't really use up that many. Like, yep, that's a creeper. Like, all these flowers, this is probably not even half of a stack. And we have like stacks on stacks on stacks. So like, clearly that's not going to be enough. So I was like, okay, what if we turn the poppies into red dye? Then I can just store red dye, right? Well, I was thinking about it and I was like, it's not super great because right now what I do to get dye is I just come over to these flowers and then as much as I need, I just bring bone meal. And I can just store bone meal, which is a lot more versatile and like you can use it in a lot of situations. It works on every different type of flower, so I don't have to store like each individual dye a ton. I can just store the bone meal and then use all the various dyes. So I was like, okay, that's probably not going to work because this is just a better source. But then a friend told me a trick that I did not know existed in the game and is actually really exciting. And that's the fact that you can actually stuff poppies. Let's go get some from the massive poppy storage. You can stuff poppies in composters. And then it makes bone meal, which is a way better resource. But the coolest thing about this is you can automate it, which I had no idea. This is totally new to me. You can put poppies into the hopper and it will automatically put them into the composter, which will automatically create the bone meal. And then if you put a hopper underneath, it'll automatically take the bone meal out. So we can totally automate turning poppies into bone meal from this farm, which is going to be awesome for storing saving space. So the goal for today is going to be to make an item filter for this farm. Pretty easy, right? Well, I thought it'd be fun to add in a little challenge. I have some of these challenges that I do with myself just to kind of make things more interesting and exciting. So we're on top of a cloud right now, one that I built, and it's designed to look a little bit like the in-game clouds. Oh, there goes the snow block. Well, anyway, if we come down here and then take a look at it, you can see I made it to kind of look like the cloud. The lights have to be there or else the middle of the cloud is pitch black. So yeah, so it's kind of mimicking a cloud, you know, it's square and sort of looks the same as the in-game one. So I want to leave that as it is. So we can't like go down an extra block. So we're not going to be destroying that cloud layer. And the other thing, the challenge that I like to set for myself is when I have an old farm and I want to refine it, I like to do it without modifying the farm too much. So what that does is it kind of creates another layer of a challenge there, because like we have this farm, the iron golems land on top of those hoppers, and that means the item filter has to go below these, because these send the items like in a line like that, and then the item filters would pick them off, right? And we can't go down below the snow, so we only have 1 block high of space to make an item filter. Now normal item filters are 2 or 3 blocks high. So you can see, like, this is a normal item filter. If we, oh, we have glass in there already. If we put more glass in, it will stuff glass into this sandstone block right here, which is not a, can't actually store anything, but yeah, you can see the glass all came down, and it's 1, 2, 3 blocks high, and it's a few blocks wide. So we can't use this classic item filter design in our farm. So we're going to have to come up with a new one, which should be fun. Now, of course, I'm not going to look anything up, because that would spoil the fun of it. And I want to try and see if I can figure out an item filter that is only like 1 block high. So right now, I have a design that I tried. And spoiler alert, it doesn't work, but it has some really interesting things that it does. Because it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. So if these are the hoppers where the items would drop, this is not part of the item filter. This is where normally the items would come in. You know, this is, the iron golems are standing on top of there. And they drop their items in, which we're substituting with the glass. And we have the item filter hopper right here. But the funny thing is, the torch is on. So it's locked. But only when this gets more items will the torch turn off. But because it's locked, it'll never get more items. So it technically works if I literally put the items in here. We get, yeah, there we go. All the glass flows in. We get all of it. But now, if we were to stick it up at the top again, it's not working. So that's what I mean. It like half works, but it kind of doesn't. So we're going to have to figure out a different solution. So one of the limitations of the normal item filter is that it's usually restricted to being 1 wide. However, we can get rid of that restriction, right? Because if you had, say, like 5 item filters next to each other, they need to be 1 wide so you can stack them like as close as possible. You know, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 over there. But because we only need 2 item filters, we're only getting 2 items from this farm. And honestly, we could get away with 1 item filter and then everything else it would just be the other item. So we can make this as wide as we need to. We just can't make it as high. So potentially what we could do is stick the torch, which locks the hopper, stick the torch on the side like that. And then we have to make sure that there's nothing above it, because otherwise it'll lock this hopper and that's no good. The redstone can come off to the side here, and we should be able, wait a second. Oh, I see. This is a 2-length item filter instead of a 3-length. Depending on how much redstone you have, that defines how many is in the locking hopper. So it's locked right now and there's only 18 glass, and before we had like 41 or something. So as soon as it goes to 2 redstone dust, so like if we were to put 1 glass in here, it goes to 2, so you can see it. So it goes to 2 length and then this turns on, which is perfect. But the trickiest part about this side item filter is the pushing and pulling mechanic. So the normal item filter relies on locking the hopper that pulls it out. But because we're going sideways, this hopper that has those 7 glass in it, this hopper is not pulling the locked hopper. And so we have to lock this hopper, which also needs to be able to pull, right? Because these items will never ever go out of this hopper because they're pointing that way. And if we point it downward, they'll always go in, just regardless of whether or not we lock the hopper. Wait. Oh! Wait, can we just point the hopper down? Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'm so used to... This is why it's fun. Because a normal item filter, right? You put... Let me just show you. This would normally be a comparator, but just bear with me. Use your imagination. So normally the hopper points sideways because it's working off of that push-pull mechanic that I was talking about. It makes the bottom one pull, but only when it's not locked and all this jazz. But because we are doing it the way that we're doing it, we might be able to just have it point down. And if we put stone slabs, yeah, that doesn't work. But then the glass gets filtered. Oh, is that it? Wait, why is this filling up? Oh, okay. It was just going really fast. Oh. But then the stone brick doesn't go anywhere. That could be a problem. Okay, I have an idea. And it's... Alright, we're just gonna try it. Because I don't know if it's gonna work. It might not work, but that's okay. So, if we have... This is the poppies and this is the iron. And then, underneath that, we need another hopper to test this. So I'm just gonna take this one. And so, we want this to not pull the glass. Because it's pulling the iron, but what I don't know is... If we stick glass in here, does it go into here? Oh, it does. That's bad. This is... Yeah, we don't want them mixed up. We need to separate out the items so we can put the poppies in the composter and the iron just in storage. Ah. We actually kind of moved this item filter down. So now the iron golems are here. Because this is where the drops land in this hopper. So it would be even with the item filter, which is an interesting design already. So then we could potentially lock this one that's pulling and make sure that it only pulls when there's no glass. This is kind of fun. It's such a different way of thinking about some of these normal problems. Oh wait, but that locks this hopper too. Yeah, the items have all just disappeared. So we need to be able to lock both of these? My instinct tells me that this is going to work. I haven't actually tested it, so let's make sure it stops. Okay, it stops at the right place. This is the 3 length one again, so 41 and 4 items. And then we have this other one, which hopefully will also be locked when this one is locked. Which is good? We actually might have to invert the signal again. Let's see. Uh-oh, it's going out of there 2 at a time. Ah, yeah. Okay, so this one, actually the signal has to be inverted again. Yeah, okay, okay. Oh? Is this working? I think it's working. I think it's working. Okay, 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 wait. No. Oh. Oh, I guess all the glass had just filtered out too quickly. Man. I think it's working. Although, if I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure how. Well, I know how it's working. So, oh my. This was a very crazy thing. So, I did the push method. So, this would be the drop hopper. And it pushes it into this one, which is an item filter, which gets locked in a classic way, you know. Two redstone, torch, yeah, whatever. Anyway, the different thing is that as long as an item is going through here, so let's stick the glass back in. So as long as an item is going through here, the comparator is on, and that locks. Oh, a glass did sneak in. Okay. I think it's just a matter of timing at this point, though. Yeah, there's just 2 glass. So for all this time that I've spent trying to cram the item filter into a one high area, turns out there was a problem that I hadn't even considered. So the highest we could possibly have the higher hoppers without adjusting anything at all is this high. And if we take the composter and stick it next to the hopper and stick the poppies in it, we get nothing. And that's because composters can't interact with the side of a hopper. You have to put it underneath. And then it works like you would expect. However, there's another problem with this. You can't put the hopper underneath to pull the bone meal. So once it hits the bone meal, it gets stuck. So I think it's unavoidable that we're going to have to adjust something. I accidentally broke the block that had the lava protector sign on it. Dude, look at this. That's haste 2 right there. It breaks so fast. But yeah, all we really have to do is just move these signs up. Let's make sure I have inventory. Like so. Oh, we're gonna have to put them over open space. Wait, how? Yeah. Oh, wait. Man, haste 2 ruining all the fun. It's so weird how the advancements reset. I'm just getting all the advancements again. So moving the whole setup up 1 block is going to be tricky. We would have to move like all that water. We'd have to move the lava up, and we'd have to figure out a way to deal with the signs. But I think instead what we could do is just move the hoppers up. There is still 1 airspace here, because the lava will be over the top like this. Flows over the top of the signs. And the drops usually happen at the iron golem's feet, so they should happen around where these signs are, hopefully? And then that will be really like super minimal modifying of the farm. Oh, there's stuff like in the hoppers. Oh, this farm. Dude, oh my goodness. So stuffed. Okay, and just put this hopper facing that way. So we should have, yeah, they all end up in this corner hopper, which is perfect for our design over here. Because we figured out how to make a sideways item filter. It's this junk over here. Yes. Very involved. And then we're going to break these center blocks. Oh, yep, there's an iron golem. So let's race down. Oh my goodness, I can't go fast enough. Good thing they have a lot of health. Let's check where his items pop out. Kind of hard to see from this angle. Is there anything in this hopper? Oh, 5 iron. It looks like it's working then. Cool. We didn't even modify any of the upstairs stuff, which is the kind of the whole goal. So we still have like a remnant of the past, but it's like updated for our current use. Just making sure the items don't pop up too high. Yeah, I saw them over on the side there, because they kind of popped up a little bit. Hopefully, I don't know. This farm produces so many that it's probably fine. But let's just make sure this would work. Yeah, it looks like there's space. So if we had, is there any poppies in here? Oh, perfect. We do this. Yep. Cool. And then any bone meal that we got. So let's make our sideways item filter. First off, going to place the hopper like this. It's going to turn a corner. So it comes in from that hopper, goes here, and then it's going to go out to the front so that we can like pick up the bone meal and stuff. And all we're going to do is place a comparator there. Some redstone dust. Repeater. Oopsie. And then the most cool block of all, target block, so that it turns the corner like that. So nice. So now, all we have to do, boom, place a torch. This hopper's not going to be there. Oh, it's already full of junk. Sure, you can stay in there. So now, this will be locked. Okay. And then, if we just cram a ton of poppies in here, as if an iron golem just dropped 64 poppies, this is going to fill up to, yeah, about 18. And then all of the poppies are going to get automatically pushed over here, and then we get bone meal. Cool. So the poppy item filter is working all well and good. It's putting all of the poppies down here. It goes in there, gets bone meal. Got 6 already. But the iron is getting stuck in here. Like if we put more, nothing's going to happen because it's trying to push it into this item filter. And that iron will never be able to go into the item filter. So we're going to have to do something underneath here. Oh, there's water there. What do you know? The awkward thing, though, is that if we, say, make a fake item filter here, right? The iron will get pulled down all the way to this bottom one, but then we can only put it into one chest. Because normally, like, if we had a long chain of hoppers like this, right, we could stick hoppers underneath. I'm running out of hoppers. Pretend these are hoppers, right? We could put them underneath, and so then it could go into this chest, and it could go into that chest, and then it could go into this chest, right? But when it's at the bottom, the only chest that we can put it into, there's a chest in here, right? Yeah. The only chest we can put it into is this one. We can't put it into any more chests. So we need to try and find a way of dispensing, or like making a hopper chain from this hopper. I think I got the solution figured out. So we're gonna go with that design where it seems like it's kind of broken, where like some of the poppies would get let through. But the thing is, like, because it doesn't let all of them through, it's going to be okay, because we'll actually want some poppies, right? If we want to plant flowers around our world, or we want red dye or whatever. If we want just a little bit, then this is going to be perfect. We're not going to get nowhere near as many because they're all going to get turned into bone meal, or almost all of them. So all we have to do is take the comparator signal of the hopper that's directly after our item filter, and then we just send that signal to this hopper. And that way, as long as any poppies are going through here, this hopper will be locked, and then the rest of the time, it'll be normal. So let's check the prototype here. So we run it around, the redstone goes, oh, okay, straight into it. So that is correct. I just have to bring it down lower because of the torch. And that should do it. Yeah, okay, let's just get a clean start. Alright, here we go. Let's see. It should work, right? We should just get barely any poppies in there, if any at all. In fact, at this rate, it's possible that we might not get any, and I would be okay with that. Okay, so we got one. I can deal with like just one here and there, you know? Okay, I wasn't sure if I would have to add this final and third part, but it looks like I do. So this is just a detection system. If the hopper's empty, it has a little bit of delay before it unlocks the hopper, the underneath one. So that's the one that takes the iron. And that way the poppies have a higher chance of going into the composter, basically. So I just need to copy this here. And before the finale, just gotta cover up this lava before I do this. I'm gonna stick some trap doors like this. And that way, it should be a little bit easier for the iron golems to fit in. Oh dear. Good thing I covered up the lava, huh? I gotta go up through the portal. Take the slow elevator path. Oh, please no. He chased me! He chased me through! At this point, dying once an episode is just a tradition. No. Oh, dude, it happens every episode. But yeah, that should make it easier for them to fit through. And we're not going to do the same treatment to down here because I can get more lava, it's fine. But yeah, we would have to make this area a lot bigger and then it would mess all the redstone up. And anyway. Okay, this should finish off the hopper chain. Perfect. And there's only one last thing that I can think we need to do. And that's shove all the poppies right into the composter. Just as many as possible. Poppies be gone. Turn into bone meal. Free, finally free of poppies. Oh my goodness. And we're just getting tons of bone meal too. That'll be so useful. Yeah, all of the iron is all separated out. So we just have like stacks on stacks on stacks of iron. And then if I feel like it, I can come up here, you know, craft a bunch of iron blocks. And there's no poppies to get in the way. So nice. Yeah, look at this. No poppies jamming up my inventory. Oh man, this was a long time coming. And I really like the solution we had. I'm surprised that we haven't seen any poppies slip through even. Like, this is working better than I anticipated. So that's even better. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me for this episode though. So I hope you enjoyed. It was a fun little puzzle episode, I guess. And I will catch you next time. Later.